Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Laura Schlosser, who is the superintendent for the Marion County School System, for our Ask the Superintendent segment here on Central Kentucky Television. Talk about what's been going on with the Marion County schools, and what's going on a lot on people's mind is the weather. And as we're recording this, it's another snow day.
Yes, sir.
But hopefully it might be the last.
We'll hoping.
Wait and see, right? Mm-hmm. So how many days has it been so far?
It's been 10 weather days. We've had 10 weather days, and we've had 1 day for training for Compass Learning. And we do plan to make up 1 day with President's Day, which is February the 17th, weather permitting.
Right. So then what's the final day now looking like? Is it into June?
Yes, sir. We are looking at, if all goes well and we do not miss any more school, our last day for students would be June the 2nd, and for staff it would be June the 3rd, and keeping in mind that when you get into May, we have Memorial Day, which is May the 26th, which would be no school, and then we also have Election Day, which is May the 20th, and because it's a primary election and we are using our schools for voting, then we cannot have school. So those are 2 days in May that we're going to be out of school. That would be days you could normally make up. Memorial Day, I have been in Marion County before, where Memorial Day is a day that we've elected to go to school to try to make up some time. So it's one of those things I can't control.
Exactly. So right now we'll have to see how it goes. And the spring break's looking...
Well, a lot of folks have asked me about spring break. Not a lot, but some. But that's always a possibility. Right now we're scheduled for spring break March the 31st through April the 4th, which is 5 days. On our calendar, it is marked as possible makeup days.
Right.
And my response has been, until we get through some more winter weather, and, that'll be a decision that the board will make, and I would say that would be sometime in March. But it would just be one of those cases where I think we would need to get through the month of February. Traditionally, the month of February is the month that we miss the most for snow. So, we're hoping to go against the tradition.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
If we want to break a tradition, this is going to be one we want to break.
Yeah, because January has been quite a month.
Yes, it has been. And as most folks know, today they are predicting a winter storm. Marion County, thankfully, is not in that line of ice, but that all depends on the temperature. If the temperature holds true at 37 degrees, we'll get rain, all the snow will melt, we can go back to school tomorrow. If the temperature fluctuates and it drops below freezing, we could have some more
trouble.
Yes.
Yes. Hopefully it will stay up in the rain, because the rain will actually clear away all this slush and everything that's out there. So hopefully that will be what we encounter. But we also wanted to talk about, recently you sent out some notification that the start of school time may be changing for some of the different facilities.
Right.
Because historically, the schools didn't all start at the same time. Is that correct?
That's correct. Currently this year, our high school was starting at 8:16. Some other schools 8:23, and then another school at 8:25. And this came to my attention because one of the things we try to do in the central office is just look at all the systems we have in place and consistency. And so after talking with the central office folks and principals, it appeared that 8:16 would be a good time for everyone to start, and then the ending time would not change. That's still 3:02. What this will do is it won't matter if your child goes to Calvary, the middle school, or the high school. We all start at the same time and we end at the same time. And several parents, myself included, we have children in multiple schools. So when you're thinking about what time does my child need to be there, we know what time to get there. And another thing that we do in a lot of schools are students, even though the start time may be 8:25, kids may be actually going to the classroom and starting their bell work as early as 8:10. So a lot of our kids are already starting that learning process early in the morning. And by changing this to 8:16, we have consistency with our parents. We're able to note that in Infinite Campus. That's our student accountability system. So we have that system put in place.
Will this impact any kind of busing schedules or anything of that nature?
All of our buses have all of our kiddos delivered by 8 o'clock, so that nothing will change with buses. Buses will pick students up at the same time, which is a great question, because if your kids are waiting on the bus, does that mean I've got to get my kids up and out earlier? Does not impact that at all. And also breakfast doesn't impact that at all. And all of our cafeterias are really good. Even if we have a late bus or something comes up, we're always going to provide a grab-and-go breakfast for kids. But all of that should stay the same.
And so the end time will stay the same
The
still?
end time will stay the same as well, 3:02.
Now, sometimes, actually how you kind of work out the schedule is time-wise for how many minutes students need to be in class, right? So this will hopefully help with instructional time, is that
yes,
true?
Yes, actually, because we're adding minutes. The requirement is that students have to have 1,062 hours, and it has to be a minimum of 170 days. Okay, 6-hour days. Because, you know, if you had long days, you know, you could get your 1,062 hours in less than 170 days, but they understand how important it is for kids to go to school. So they give districts some flexibility in how many days. Currently, our calendar is 174 days for students, okay, and teachers is 177 because they have 3 work days built in. But what the state says, as long as we get the 1,062 hours and students attend a minimum of 170 days, then we're everything's good.
Good. So that was started, when was this implemented?
As long as I've been in the system, this is the way it's been.
I mean, the new start time, sorry.
Well, it was supposed to start yesterday, Monday, the first day of February. So we do have 77 days of instruction left.
Right.
And we've completed 97 days because I know a lot of folks are excited about 100 days, especially at the elementary level. They have themes planned. We may have a pajama day at one school or a hat day to celebrate that we've accomplished 100 days. So we've completed 97, we have 77 more to go. So that would start our first day back, hoping for tomorrow.
So hopefully Friday there'll be lots of celebrations for the 100th day, right?
Right, exactly. We are very hopeful. And one of the things I've heard parents also say is, you know, with the inconsistency because of the weather, and we all know we can't control that, and I think as a community we've all been very understanding about that, is, you know, what about my child's learning? How's that going to help? You know, I've heard some teachers say, well, you know, we're going to get in our 177 days, but in the meantime, what do we do? And one of the things that our Board of Ed and our district did was they purchased Compass Learning back in the fall. And so all the kids went home with Compass Learning usernames and passwords. And if you go to your child's website at each of your schools, you'll find a Compass Learning icon to click on, and your student has a username and password, and that's based on each individual child's needs. So that's a way to keep learning even though we have a snow day.
Right.
And you know what I love about it is what your needs are and my needs may be different, and Compass Learning meets your needs and it meets my needs. It's about individual pathways.
Okay.
So, and you know, obviously with the poor weather conditions, sometimes internet's out. We have a wonderful public library, you know, and with computers available, wireless access. A lot of places of business provide that free. You know, you take your laptop and hook up. But you know, that'd just be a good way to extend your child's learning. A lot of teachers sent their children home with their backpacks full of books, anticipating bad weather. Read a book, read a newspaper, read a magazine, read signs. You know, obviously kids enjoy snow days, but you know, to just kind of keep everybody in the mindset, I know at my house we're still studying our spelling words, because when we come back we're going to have a spelling test, so I'm sure lots of other parents are doing the same thing.
That's right. So it's up to the parents to help make sure their kids are keeping up too,
yes, absolutely,
even when they're not able to be in school.
Right.
So hopefully we'll be able to wrap up by the start of June for schools here in Marion County. And the start time as of the next day of school will be 8:16 in the whole district. So won't affect your busing though, so that's really good.
No, but all the busing will stay the same.
How about with testing? Is this having any impact on how the kids are getting ready for the testing that's coming up?
That's a very good question. Years ago, it was a huge impact. You know, if you lived in a community where you missed a lot of days for snow, the assessment was given, for example, May the 15th. It didn't matter if you missed 5 days or 15 days. One of the things that happened with Senate Bill 1 is they enacted a regulation where it's the last 14 days of school.
Okay.
Okay. So everyone's it's gonna be more of an even playing field, whether you miss the 5 days or the 15. Our last 14 days of school may be completely different than Jefferson County.
Right.
Their testing window and our testing window will be different, but we'll all have the equal number of days of instruction to prepare. So if we look on the calendar, if we were looking at assessment, we would say that our testing window would start May the 12th. Okay. So, or May the 13th, somewhere in there. That would be the last 14 days of school. Now, something that does impact is the ACT. Mm-hmm. All of our juniors have an opportunity to take a free ACT on March the 4th. And, you know, that's coming. Mm-hmm. Now, I do know, I was in a meeting last week with the Department of Education, and they are looking at if we could actually move that ACT testing date down to maybe March the 25th. So then these days that we've missed, the instruction will still be able to take place at the high school. But ACT is a national test. Right. It's a company, so Kentucky's working with them to do that. But that is something that we all worried about in the past, but thankfully with Senate Bill 1, even playing field.
Good. Very good. So hopefully we'll be back in school and coming up to 100 days here in the Marion County School System, hopefully this week. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I've been talking with Laura Schlosser, who is the superintendent for the Marion County School System. This is Gary White for Central Kentucky Television.